You might remember that near the close of 2020, we did a story about how the Trump campaign had been effectively stealing money from people who donate to them by using shady tactics to withdraw more money from their accounts than is likely that the people donating had wanted to give. Well, now we've gone another 6 months of reports from campaigns, and what do you know? They're still doing it, still robbing the people who love Trump most. And we want to give you an update on it. So to catch you up, shortly before Election Day last year, Trump's campaign made recurring payments the default option on its donation website, meaning that people had to uncheck the option to avoid being charged weekly. What that means is you might think I'm gonna give you $50 or $100, or maybe I want Trumpy to win, I'm gonna give him $500, and they will take it from you every single week. So that's a problem. The campaign had attempted to obscure this detail by placing it in the fine print beneath multiple lines of bolded and capitalized text. The campaign also added a second pre-checked box that doubled a donor's donation, along with new lines of text that distracted readers from what they were agreeing to. So this came in a lot of different forms. In past videos, we've shown you many. Here's a couple of examples, some a little bit more clear than others, but you could go into this trying to give a donation, have it automatically doubled, have it automatically withdrawn every week, have it automatically withdrawn on Trump's birthday. All of this difficult for, let's keep it real, sometimes senior supporters of Trump to necessarily get on these websites packed with text. So that resulted in, let's see, $122 million being refunded to donors in 2020. And think about what that means. That doesn't just mean that $122 million was basically stolen. It's that $122 million worth of donations had donors willing to go through the process of getting that money back.
Yep.
How many didn't think it was worth the trouble? How many didn't notice that it was taken? Well, that has continued to this year with the FEC unanimously voting back in May to recommend that Congress actually ban campaigns from doing this. Now that is pending, I guess we'll see, because Trump is not the only person to do this. He is by far the worst, but hardly the only one. Now, so far in 2021, there is less of this. It is, after all, not a presidential campaign. Donald Trump is not an elected politician, but he has still had to refund $12.8 million. Again, while he's not running for anything, there's nothing happening that you should necessarily be giving him money. They are still using these shady tactics to steal up at least $12.8 million from their supporters. Francesca, what are your thoughts?
I mean, at least like the FEC is cracking down on something, right? Like, I guess we can funnel money into our elections, as long as you're a corporation, corporations are people, but we've got limits on like how many check boxes you can do senior citizens with. And yeah, I mean, and this is sort of like where, we come back to this over and over again, that you wonder if Trump fans and MAGA enjoy being taken for a ride. We know they enjoy being lied to just about, the world and reality, but do they enjoy being swindled is the other thing, because he openly congratulates himself whenever he says, look, I only paid whatever it was, $725 in taxes. And that's good on me, because I could do that. I cheated and that was fine, right? And in similar fashion, he got away with this, so he's the winner and you are the loser. And I don't get it. Like, at what point do we understand that that's what this guy is gonna continually do? And look, I think Ivanka should get on Cameo, because the Trump family struggling. Ivanka will have an OnlyFans by the end of the decade. Mark my words.
Now, there's a wide variety of types of content that are available on OnlyFans, I hear. So that doesn't necessarily mean what you might be thinking.
No.
Jesus,
she's
Francesca,
gonna read.
It's canceled. Kidding. She's gonna read what?
No, she'll
Victorian
read
poetry.
Yeah, she's going to read Yeats on her. Yeah, OnlyFans doesn't have to be scantily clad.
Mine isn't.
Yeah,
anyway, look, and it takes so much, so obvious of a grift for it to get through to seemingly any of them. Now, when we first talked about the story like 6 months ago, one of the things I was surprised by was that there were some who did get it. I mean, the very fact that they're getting their money refunded implies that they have been duped. And I know in the same way that when we talk about people, dying from COVID after saying that it's not serious, some people have no empathy for that, and I get it. I do feel bad for some of these people. There was a one donor who was in hospice care, had $3,000 taken from their account in less than a month after donating $500. There was one individual who it was like $6,000 or $8,000, said the only reason the Trump campaign stopped taking money out of his account was because his account had been drained to its last dollar. And he was some old person who donated money to Trump, and they took every dollar that he had. And they just don't care. Most of them just don't care. This should, he should have to put out a statement. He should have to disavow this technique. He should, but he's not going to, and he doesn't have to, and they're still gonna love him, and that's really depressing. Again, he is not the only person that's done this sort of thing. There are even Democratic politicians that have done these automatic checkboxes and all that. But it needs to be made much more explicit, if not, taken regulated against explicitly. The fact that they're automatically checked is so deceptive. We're sick of getting spam email as a result of that, but we're allowing hundreds or thousands of dollars to be taken from our accounts. It needs to stop.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.